This is, maybe I shouldn't say this. I haven't read a book cover to cover, I feel like, since college.
Amir, we should do a book club. I
know
read a
we
lot.
should. I know you were reading between scenes all the time.
I read a lot. I read a lot. I do tend to go to a lot of poetry too. That's a good day starter for me.
Nerd Reactor, roll out.
So I guess my first question I want to ask you is, one of my favorite lines in the movie or the show where you have Ray, he's screaming, he's going, "Let's get the F out of here." They all read Sun Tzu. And so the Art of War has helped a lot of people with just planning battle tactics. But I was wondering for you, is there like a go-to reading material that has helped you plan out your day?
My day as me in my regular life?
Yeah. Or just like to help or in your profession too.
Well, that changes depending on the show I'm doing, I think, for sure. This show, I didn't necessarily have like a sort of daily Bible on set, although I had come off of doing playing another detective, and I was reading a lot of Elmore Leonard, and that for sure was helping me kind of in a zone of like this like kind of twisty, crime drama vibes. But it definitely changes for me what show I'm doing, what work I'm doing. But I don't have one in my daily life. Do you have a Bible that you go to every day?
I feel like I just need to read more in general.
Yeah.
I haven't read a book. This is, maybe I shouldn't say this. I haven't read a book cover to cover, I feel like, since college.
Amir, we should do a book club. I read a lot.
I know you were reading between scenes all the time.
I read a lot. I do tend to go to a lot of poetry too. That's a good day starter for me.
Marin is sounding very cool. And
Thank you. You know what I was reading a lot of in the mornings was Saeed Jones has a great poetry book, Alive at the End of the World. That's a really great one to start off your day with.
Do you know that I actually sometimes when I'm in a rut, when I'm stuck, I actually write poetry.
Well, maybe I should start reading your poems to start my day.
I have some poems that I will show you between interviews. I just make sure when I start my day that I have a clear mind, and whether that requires some stretching, some gratitude, some water, and usually on a working day, on a shooting day, there's a whole different way of waking up, and it's exciting and nerve-wracking, and I just make sure I'm clear. But my favorite book is Man's Search for Meaning. That is my favorite book. And that book I've read a few times.
That is a great book.
There you go. And as in terms of waking up, I feel like this show, there's a lot of chaos, and that would probably help like on set just to wake up. So is there anything like on the set for each of you that's like, oh, this is this is it. This is cool. This is like the moment where everything just clicks and it just goes together. Let's start with you, Amir.
This sounds hokey. An acting teacher once said, you just sort of, wherever you are in the day, you use it. A character can be sick. A character can be didn't wake up on the right side of the bed. A character can be mad. A character can be euphoric, and you can use that heading into any scene. So if I feel something's not clicking, I just say yes and agree to it. And another great thing, I mean, Marin was my primary scene partner on the series. If you're feeling sort of something's not clicking, you just look at your scene partner. She was a great scene partner.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, I think it's also a thing you get from, we both did a lot of theater starting out, and I think that's the thing you get from theater also is like to stay in the moment. You just like, okay, take the focus off of yourself and how you're feeling, and just like really like make the other person more important than you. And that is like, that's when you can really click in and feel like a lot more present in the moment.
I'm getting goosebumps. Yeah. That is exactly, Listen and make it about them, and you get right out of your head.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I think one of my favorite things about the show is the city just feeling like it's being brought to life with Philadelphia. And for each of you, is there like that one thing that you take away from it? Is like, this is Philadelphia.
We have many.
We have some Philly stories.
There's one day where we were shooting, I think it was in episode 3, myself and Will Pullen, he plays Marquetti, he's amazing. He's a great guy, great character on the show. We were doing a stakeout of the trap house, of the initial trap house. And the background players on the show, the background actors had to play homeless, drug addicts, down and out. And we couldn't tell who were the background players and who were sort of the real grifters on the street until when we called action a second time, I saw them repeat their actions. I actually went up to them. I was like, this is an incredible performance. Not to downplay Philly's, also the best restaurants, best people, but the real grit of the show really felt quite authentic, all the way down to our background players. It was like amazing. I was like, this is incredible. It was actually quite inspiring.
There was definitely some of the biker gang stuff that was like, oh, those extras, they're part of a biker gang. They just are also working on the show today. It was definitely like a real that we were entrenched. We were entrenched in the town.
A lot of stories.
All right. Well, thank you for taking the time for doing the interview, and I can't wait for everyone else to check it out when it comes out.
Thank you, John.
I appreciate the questions. Thank you.